Hello? Hello, chat? Hi. Hello. Forgive me if I'm just like, just now settling in. I just had to brush my teeth. It was a horrible idea. I was eating cashews before stream, so I had like a mouthful of nut, and like I couldn't get it out of my mouth, so I had to go brush my teeth. And you know, like when you brush your teeth and you just feel like a whole new person when you're done. Oh yeah. Oh man. I'm sure you guys know what I'm talking about. Oh. Oh man. How are y'all? I meant to schedule this forever ago, and I forgo. But I remembered. Shout out to Thea for being the first one to be like, "Hey, is that happening tonight?" And thank you, Thea, for the spreadsheet. As always, you guys can send your questions for Q&A purposes. You can send it to the question form, and I will try to get to you as we go. But before I get to all that, we will chitty chat about some stuff. I got all kinds of fun stuff to talk about, so we'll do that. Yeah. First off, let's talk about you. Let's talk about you, chat. How are y'all doing this lovely Wednesday? I hope the week has been fairly kind to y'all. My week's been going pretty good. Lots of fun things going on. So I'll fill you guys in on what I've been up to very soon. It sounds like it has been a week. It has been a week, and it is just Wednesday. Yeah. Oron's baby with the $5 super chat says I got a haircut. Also, happy birthday to Finn. Yeah, so Finn's birthday is next week on the 20th. And I'm very excited because I'll be doing something for that. You guys will find out about it soon. It's been a herky-jerky kind of month. Life just keeps happening. You know, I had a whole lot of plans for like the season of Finn, and they're still happening, but like the season of Finn is taking a while to get going. There's still a bunch going on. Jack was part of the plan just because he was ready and I was ready to spring him on people. And there'll be more Finn stuff happening. Diesel Dreamer asks, we've had Bunny Finn. Will we ever get a Neko Charlie? I don't know. I don't feel like doing creature boys just for the sake of it makes a ton of sense. Because here's what we're not going to do. I have to tell myself to stop. Is doing special artwork for a thing that happens like once. I can't be doing that. That's silly. That there's better ways to spend the resources. Now if it's something more like the Spooky Boys that came out at Halloween last year, those are going to be recurring and they'll come back and it'll be a whole thing. But like, and why a cat? Why does it have to be a cat for Charlie? I feel like a cat should be Faust, and then Charlie can be like a rat or a raccoon or something. Anywho, it's just, I don't want to just do AUs because I can. That's not really what I'm trying to do. For now. Let's see. Earlier, before the stream, Millie asked, wondering if there will be any more Auron content coming up soon, like sleep aids or one-shots. Sleep aid, yes. Sleep aid, yes. One-shot TBD. Probably not. There's sleep aids ready to go. I just have to do them. Question form should be in the description. And, I need to pin it in the comments. There we go. Thank you, Thea. Yeah, okay, so what else we got? Can you say my name on live? Normally I don't do tricks for free, but I can say Rose. Rose is fairly... I can say Rose. There's gonna be more everybody. The question that you should be asking is, do you have the mental capacity to get your shit done, Yuri? Which, the answer is, but we can talk about that a little bit because, what do I want to talk about first? We'll get to Jack. Let me update you guys. So you might have saw last week, maybe the week before, I don't remember now. But I tweeted about how nice it would be to have like an office space outside of the house to go record and write and do all my worky stuff at. So, recently got with a financial advisor guy to get my business shit in order, get my personal shit in order, get a bunch of shit in order. And we had a meeting shortly after that. And he was like, oh, hey, if if that was a thing, like you could do that. Like your business has the money to do that. Like your personal finances are tight right now, but like the business can have an office. So long as it's not like crazy. And the thing is like we're in the Austin area. So the rent's pretty crazy. But it just so happened that the day before that I was looking around and there was a really nice office space really close to the house and I wanted it. So I went to go take a look at it and it was solid. I had to kind of pitch them an idea because they were gonna kind of group a few rooms a certain way, and I was like, hey, I can't do all that, but if you'd be willing to put these two together, I think that solves your problem and it's the right size for me. So it took a while. It took over the weekend because I think I sent them that on Friday, and then the weekend, and then yesterday, and so like Monday, Tuesday happens. I'm like, I just want to know. Because it went from like, oh, that would be nice to like, oh man, I fucking want this. So they got back to me today. It sounds like we're going to do it. I need to look at the lease and probably have a legal person take a look at it. But fuck, I'm so excited. I think I've realized, so since getting medicated for ADHD, for those of you who don't know, My brain is a mess. Got medicated late last year. Brain really happy now. But I still struggle with like habitual stuff, and I'm breaking myself slowly, but like I have decades of bad habits to break now. And when I go to work on something, so imagine my brain is like a train, and I just need to put it on tracks and it will go. But if I can't get it on tracks, it's just kind of like I'm just doing donuts in the parking lot, basically. If a train could do donuts in a parking lot. So, I really think that it would be incredibly beneficial for me to have a place to go to. And it's specifically for work. There's none of the distractions of working at home. Like, being able to come this far with how messed up my brain is. I'm proud of that, but now, like, hey, if I have the means to allow myself to work smarter and more effectively, I really should do that. So the price is really reasonable. It sounds like the landlord is just a regular person. Like it's a normal person, and this is, you know, one of their few, if only, like, investment properties. And that's nice, because a lot of the stuff around here is getting developed, and it's big businesses that are building, and it's a lot. And this is like a guy who owns a warehouse that got turned into office spaces. So, you know, just a regular person. Which, it's not that those are always perfect. Sometimes it comes with a lot of weird headaches. Like, the guy who I rent my home from is a normal person. It's his first rental property, and it's a little weird sometimes. But yeah. I felt the way the serendipity of the timing and the way everything fell in line, and like, wow, there's a place under 10 minutes from the house right there, and it's the right size, and it's all I really need. Like, I don't need a place that has a wet bar built in. I don't need a place that has, like, it has your own bathroom and everything. Like, I need a place to put a coffee machine, a place to put my booth, and a place to put my streaming setup. The rest is gravy. And it sounds like that's what's gonna happen. I'll be investing in one of the, if you guys have seen, a lot of voiceover people now have them, especially after like fucking 2020, but like whisper room booths. So they come in a variety of sizes. They're fairly easy to put together if you have help, and it's a studio quality booth. I'm gonna go get me one, and I imagine the quality is gonna be even better than my closet. Yeah. And it's a real quiet area too. A lot of the office spaces around here are like in business places. So there's foot traffic and traffic. This is like on a slower road. It's a big warehouse, and I'm kind of at the back end of it. So like, I'm out of the way. There's not a ton of, the parking lot is only for this business. So there's not a lot of people coming and going. It's fucking ideal. Yeah, I'm gonna decorate it all pretty. The only downside is, like, it's not a pretty space. It's got the first you know, like, bachelor apartment brown paint on the wall type thing going on, and concrete floors, and that's it. And there's like a shop sink in the corner, which is not pretty, but if I want to drink coffee out of a real cup, I guess I could do dishes there. But yeah, it's gonna get done. And thankfully, I have a lot of friends that have an eye for that sort of thing. So shout out to Thea, Thu, and everybody else who can guide me in what might... Yeah. Cardboard cutouts of the boys in the space. Probably not all that, but... Yeah, so that's very, very exciting. If you guys drop the Oron question in the document, I'll answer it again. Yeah, so what I would like to do, also, if Bloody Bread is still here, I have a question for them. Specifically, I'll DM you, but it's a question about something you've done that would look nice on a wall. I really liked the pieces you did for the zine, and if you guys remember I have my D&D baby on these. You can put art on a like foam panel thing, so it's like a sound panel, but you can put art on the print of the fabric. Yeah, I was thinking those might look really cool, so I was gonna hit you up to ask if I might do that, if that would be cool. Which I've wanted to do that basically since that zine happened, and I just always forget to ask. So yeah, you know, putting up, you know, the art sound panel things, they're great. They work really well. Putting some rugs in there. The big sound booth will actually also absorb sound. Yeah, so I'm excited. It's a little nerve-wracking, you know, like this is a big boy move, but I think it's really gonna help. Like the way that I'm able to really hit a flow whenever the cats leave me alone and it's peaceful and I'm like cooking, if I could just have that, like if I could just drive down the road and have that, fuck. I'm excited. So that's going on, and we're talking like July 1st. So yeah, because like that's worked really well for me with like going to the gym and stuff and exercising more. Like having a place to go to do a thing helps me a lot. Although I have started doing 2 days a week, I do cardio at the house now. I got a punching bag and an elliptical and free weights. So your boy's trying to get swole. I'm trying to, what's that fella from the Hungry Dungeon anime? Hungry Dungeon. That's not what it's called, but y'all know who I'm talking about. It's thick boy season. Except I'm not going to be as thick, and I'm going to have a lot of loose skin, but it's going to be sick. / positive. Hungry in dungeon. Yeah. Oh, man. So yeah, what was that? Z asked, how does this rank compared to other milestones? It's a big one. So long as it doesn't crash and burn and turn out to be a horrible idea. It won't. But my productivity sucks at home now. I have like anxiety about going into the booth because the cats will start fussing at me, and then I have to like shoo them away, and I don't like dad voicing the cats. when I stream and Mochi's gonna climb up the fucking wall, I don't want y'all to hear me have to like put the bass in my voice towards my cat, but like he will literally go 10 feet up on the wall and hurt himself if I don't. So just being able to do that shit away from the comforts of home. Cause also like if I take a break or something, like there's times where I'll be in the booth and I really need water, and the air conditioning doesn't go into that closet, so it gets really hot really fast, and I'll be like, oh shit, I didn't bring a water, and then I have to decide, do I get up and go to the kitchen and disturb the cats and then have to spend like 15 minutes waiting for them to stop beeping at me. Meanwhile, I'm sweating my balls off in the booth, waiting for the cats to stop screaming at me. You see what I'm saying? So like, man, it sucks. So, and like, it's not the end of the world. Like, it's fine. And a lot of the times I'm overthinking it. So it would be really nice to remove that whole friction from my routine. Cause like now I used to be really bad at stopping work and like browsing Twitter or fucking around doing something else. I don't really do that as much anymore. So like a lot of my struggles when it comes to like doing work have subsided. So a lot of it's like situational and just the setup. So I'm hoping if I'm set up for success, I'm excited about what I'll be able to do. Cause like, it's a lot harder to lock in on writing. It's a lot harder to get into the booth. It's a lot harder to do a bunch of things. So if like I can go and work for several hours and get good work time out of it. Yeah. Just the amount of shit I'll be able to do is kind of nuts. So, I'm excited. I'm a little nervous, but I'm excited. Yeah. Practical Zero asked, who are you most excited for in the upcoming Dragon Age game? I'm looking forward to the new Warden. He's really cute and all, and of course Varric. So if you guys haven't seen on Twitter, I'm a Dragon Age fan. I talked about it a little bit, how it's funny that this all happened so close in proximity, but I was talking about how Mass Effect was a really special thing for me, and I was talking to somebody about it, and I realized like how like emotional I was about it, how special it was to me. And then I realized like, wow, I really buried it, because I was playing like Mass Effect 3 especially was like at a very fucky time in my life. And Dragon Age, like, for those of you who don't know, I am divorced. I did the whole marry your high school sweetheart thing. Don't recommend it. Sorry if you're doing that. I'm sure it'll work out for you. It did not work out for me. And I was saying, like, the Dragon Age games, if my young adulthood was broken down into a 3-act structure, those games came out at every act of that story. When I was like a junior, senior in high school, we fucking, me and her, we put 600 hours into Dragon Age Origins together. And then Dragon Age 2, we had started living together. I don't remember if we were married or not yet. But we didn't play that together, and it's kind of representative of like how we were growing apart. And then Dragon Age Inquisition came out a little bit after the divorce. So all of that was, it was tied up in a lot of, like, not bad feelings, but a lot of baggage. And not even bad baggage, but like, you know, you have to walk past that scuff on the wall, right? So it's like, oh, well, I won't bother looking at it. So with the new Dragon Age coming out, like, you know, it reminded me, like, oh man, remember how you loved that? Like, Dragon Age is responsible for a lot of my kind of restoring my love of the fantasy genre. Because when I was a later teen, so like when I was 16, 17, whatever, like, I had really disconnected from a lot of my like nerdy fandom shit. Still kind of into anime, but not like hardcore. And Dragon Age got me back into fantasy. And just playing through a little bit of Inquisition, I just realized, like, oh man, look how much of this inspired me. So it's really cool, like, working on Echoes of Everlast and seeing things that inspired me, you know, a decade ago and longer. I preferred Origins over both of those other games, so I am not worried about Dragon Age. I'm not. I think folks were a little too worried about that. I think what turned people off with the trailer was like, first off, people should know that, like, doing these CG trailers, it's usually like an outsourced thing and PR has their hands in it. And yeah, it sort of did look like a fucking Valorant character trailer. And you know, whatever. I just didn't freak out, because when you look at like the key art, any of the pictures that were shared in engine and all that, it looked really good. And I saw a little bit of the of the gameplay trailer, but I didn't want to. I already got spoiled for trying to avoid the trailer, so it looks good to me. And it looks more reminiscent of fucking, it looks a little more like a throwback with the whole like ability wheel and stuff. So yeah, I don't know. The plot is what I'm here for, and I think they're cooking. So to answer your question is, who am I looking forward to in the game? Basically everybody. I was really hesitant at first. I was like, I don't know if I like these companions. I don't know. But like, I felt that way about every companion ever. So like, finally, after letting it sit with me, I'm very interested in Neve, the detective with the cool hat. Very interested in the mage killer man. Very interested in the old necromancer man. Very interested in the warden that has a fucking griffin. Those are supposed to be extinct. I'm forgetting more people. I do love, the Kunari lady. Ooh. Fuck. Yeah, anywho, I'm excited. And I think it is unfortunate that Dragon Age is coming out after Baldur's Gate 3. Just because expectations are going to be a certain way. And although the way they were talking about the romances makes me think that some of them might be really horny. But it's not going to be as hardcore as Baldur's Gate stuff was. But I'm excited. I'm going in with a pretty... Look, I already hated the direction that Dragon Age went in. I hated Dragon Age 2. I did not love Inquisition. They're never gonna make another Origins, so I'm at peace with that. I'm at peace with it. So, and I'm very excited about Varric. I think he's fucking. The first thing I said was that Varric's got death flags all over him. A character who's been that prominent in that many games, they know that they've built up love for him. So I'm scared. So we'll see what happens. But I love Varric. Varric is my do I want to be with him or do I want to be him character. For those of you who don't know, he's a handsome dwarf who has his fucking hairy chest out. He's a rider. He is a swarthy, roguish fucker. He's everything I could ever want to be. So I love him very much. And I'm sad that I've never got to love him properly in the game. Anywho, sorry. Dragon Age brain rot. It's real. I'm replaying Inquisition. So yeah. So all right, that was the second question. Third question. LOL no says, Faust, any plans for him? Many. I can't really tell you much more than that, but yeah, what do you mean? I got tons of plans. A horrible human being asks, is Charlie wife material? I mean, realistically, no, but I mean, he is for me. Glowy Fish says, sorry, this isn't a question, but I once had a dream you made ASMR audios for Sans Undertale and they were unironically good. Well, I've never played Undertale, and I certainly was not around for all the Sans fuckers. I know somebody was doing audios for Sans. It was not me though. Krang Sucks asked, what is the main storyline for Jack, and will he ever be involved with the other boys such as Al, Seth, etc.? There are no plans for him to be involved with Al or Seth. I wanted Jack's story to be a very straightforward, easy to follow college campus romance. Him and the new transfer, getting to know each other and catching feelings. That's pretty it. That's pretty much it. Did I say that's pretty it? Lord help me, my brain. Out of all the boys, who would like head pats the most? Probably. This is a sleeper pick for this. Probably Seth. Because when you think about like the mommy issues and the like his emotional side, just thinking about like if he put his head in your lap and you pet his head, I think he would cry. Yeah, Seth would melt. It would be over. I mean, other characters would like head pats too, but I think Seth would probably cry. Let's see. Ren asked, what inspired you to start making these series? I love them so much, by the way. I mean, I just sort of started. I just sort of started. They weren't all they weren't always supposed to be that elaborate, but then it just sort of happened over time. And now it's just, I don't know. I think I found out that people were interested in the plot stuff, and I wanted to indulge them. I've always wanted to be a storyteller. That was the big thing. The first dream job I ever had was to write the stories for video games. After playing Final Fantasy VII, I said, I want to do that. Sorry, Z, I had to do it to you. Specifically you. There is a someone made a stream widget where you can click on a specific chat message and it'll pop up like a Q&A blurb. I think it's only for Twitch right now, but damn, wouldn't that be nice? I mean, questions would flood the chat. That's kind of the issue. But I do understand it would be helpful to have a visual that says what I'm talking about as I'm yapping. Moon to Moon asks, why did Alphonse have black hair dye on standby if his natural hair color is black? Or did he go out and buy it specifically for that? I didn't really think that far ahead. It happened because it would be cool. As for, like, his hair would also be fried. His hair would be a fucking mess. Like, there's a lot of real world things that don't fucking matter because we're in a fucking fictional story. I like to go by anime rules. Like, does it make sense if you think about it as if it was like a fucking documentary? No, not really. But was it cool to put on screen? Yeah? Okay, cool. Lynn's asked, would you ever consider running a D&D game set in the world of Everlast, maybe as a live stream? Would love the opportunity to get a peek at this world you've created. You know, I would consider it. I need to, if you guys remember the, was it the last, what's that called? Extra Life stream, where I did the, like, ASMR D&D. I need to do more of that to practice my, my DMing, and then maybe I would. Or I would work with a DM to world build that out a little bit to, that would be fun. Shay asks, hello, did you drink water today? Yes, I have water right here, and I've been drinking quite a bit of it today. I think this is like my 4th bottle. Z asks, on a scale from 1 to ultimate slay girl queen pussy boss, how have you been feeling? I've been feeling pretty good, man. I've really locked in on my diet, so I'm at a calorie deficit. Going to the gym has been awesome. My guns are coming in. I had little noodle arms, but now, like, now there's something going on in there. Like, there's still a nice layer of pudge, but like when I grab my shit, I can, like, flex. Yeah, I've been doing good. I'm excited. Here's some fun stuff. So, I was a little stumped on Echoes of Everlast. I had 2 episodes figured out. And when I say episodes, these are thick boys. I'm talking they're probably going to be like 30 minutes longer, maybe. I don't know. They're big. They're big. And I was a little stumped. I was like, okay, so all this happens and it builds to this, and then what? And I was stuck. And then I was driving. I went to go buy coffee mugs from World Market. And I was listening to DeSelby Part 2 by Hosier. I wanted to call him Hosey, and then I realized people might not know. Hosier. And it all happened. So I do a lot of my crafting in my head before I sit down at a computer or a keyboard. And I fantasize while I drive, which sounds dangerous. I promise I'm focused on the road. But I so clearly figured out what happens after where I left off. And then I had tons and tons and tons and tons of shit come from that. I'm so excited for you guys to meet some of these new characters. There are a few that I haven't talked about. There are things afoot that I cannot talk about. Yeah, man, something about driving is such a safe place for me, which is not actually, not literally, but like for my brain. And yes, doing full AMVs and shit in my mind's eye while I drive. Yeah, that's me. That's me. I think of like specific shots. I think of all kinds of stuff. I know. Hey, I also, while I was driving, Jackie saw me. Jackie saw this light bulb go off, but I literally go, holy shit, I just figured something out. And, let's see. I know what Everlast Finn's listeners' name is. Not their literal name, but their, their listener name. What else? And I did come up with a name. I can give you guys want a name? I can give you a character's name. I won't tell you who it is. I will just say that there's a character named Edwin. And I love him. And one day I will share where I got that name from. There is a specific reason I gave him that name. Do I tell you why? Do I tell you? It might be fun. It might be fun. I can't share who it is. I got the name from Edwin Hubble, the creator of the Hubble telescope, which you might find interesting because of all the astrology and celestial references we've got going on. Yeah, so And I just really like the name Edwin. So yeah. Anywho, you guys got a special little tweet. Treat. Jesus. What's wrong with me? Bastioff. Edwin is a mystery character that's coming in Echoes of Avalas. Okay, what else do we got? Faith asked, you excited for Dawn Trail coming at all? Speaking of media that I've got a complicated relationship with, nah, I'm gonna sit this one out, I think. I think I'm sitting this one out, but you know, never say never, but I just don't think right now I'm ready for that kind of commitment, I guess. Yeah. Kara's Covers asks, will we get any more Bittersweet Boys or Charlie and Raccoon? Also, I absolutely love your content. It always makes me so happy. Thank you. Yes, more Bittersweet Boys are coming. Charlie and Raccoon are coming. I really fell in love with the Bittersweet Director's Cut idea I had. Did we talk about that on stream? I don't remember if we talked about that on stream or not. At least like the newest evolution of it, which is something I need to work on. I will probably wait to record. I will wait to record when I have my booth. Okay, no. Okay, let me catch you guys up on what that is. So, it was gonna be strictly doing, basically redoing chapter 1 and adding artwork. So a re-recording and adding artwork that kind of brings it up to what chapter 2 and 3 were. And then I thought, wouldn't it be neat if maybe I also patched up the installments of chapter 2 and 3 that didn't have artwork? Because there's specifically the one where Seth and Alphonse get back with pizza in chapter 2. And then there's specifically the Alphonse talking about Charlie when they're driving to the old apartment in chapter 3. And it's like, hey, wouldn't that be cool? And then we could just put it all in one massive video and call it the director's cut. So extra artwork, more art. A fresh recording of chapter 1 is like, I love Bittersweet chapter 1, but like it was right as I was really kind of figuring it out. Like, it's not bad, but the equipment's better, I'm better, and I think there's a big leap between chapter 1 and 2. And that's kind of tough because, like, well, you need people to be into chapter 1. Otherwise they won't get to chapter 2. Cootie, go on, little guy. Lay on my feet. Go on. Don't you want to lay under the desk? Wouldn't that be nice? Yeah. So the only additive thing that I know is happening is there's a scene that's going to go to the front of chapter 1 that sort of contextualizes Alphonse and Boo better. And if I decide that something needs more, then I'll do it. or I won't. I don't know. But it's not going to be like, nothing's getting changed. Anything that is added is additive, not altering. Yeah, so I actually need to go and get the transcript for chapter 1 and prepare myself for re-recording that and then get a shot list over to Jackie. Because I think it would be cool to have that ready for when something comes out in the summertime. Hello, Cootie. Hi, Cootie. See, I don't mind the cats annoying the stream, but like, imagine me doing it in character. It's like, oh, Finn has cats? Like, no, Finn doesn't have cats. Finn is me. So. Yeah. I have to, Z. I have to do it. That means we're gonna see Seth at the campfire crying. We're gonna see Alphonse looking shook and vulnerable. Them at the table again with that cinnamon roll. Hey, that's my bottle cap. That's gonna be the biggest challenge, is giving a performance for the longer walk home, Seth. Audio. Being able to match that emotion. And you know what? It'll be good for us to do that, Jackie, because we need to figure out what the layout of what the like bar looks like, because in chapter 4, if you guys watch the New Year's video, you know that Seth has a little gig. What else do we got? Orban says, hope you've been well. Just want to ask if you've been taking care of yourself and what things that made you happy recently. Wow, what made me happy recently? Yesterday, I got to go to dinner with my friends. That made me happy. I enjoyed having dinner with my friends yesterday. I also am very happy with how Jack has turned out. Jack, I didn't go back and listen to what Jack sounded like because I remember it was basically just my voice, but a little clean. So that's kind of just what I did with Jack. So what you're hearing me sound like right now is basically Jack. I polished out most of the Southern because I know, like, I let it slip sometimes. I'm sure Jack might too, but it's not on purpose. Oron's baby, welcome to Dreamer. Ugh. My cats make me happy. Cootie is otter posing on the desk in my arms, being a big old baby. Being a big old baby, purring up a storm. He's such a yapper. He fusses at me all night. What do we got going on? Taro asks, yo, what is on your back, Bubba? Cootie, is that just your spine? Am I just being a cat dad? Hey, Bubba. Is that just your spine? It's just a spine. I'm fucking... Me forget that is such a pet parent thing. Like, what is this strange bump? Oh, it's just your spine. Get your paws off the keyboard. There you go, right there, honey. Okay, where was I? Taro asks, what is a pet peeve of yours when creating a character? I was fussing about this on Tumblr, I think. I hate the, like, supposed obligation to give every listener a name. Because, like, it doesn't feel... I have to spend time with them before I can just be like, okay, he's going to call the listener this. I was able to combat that with Charlie because it was really plot related. It was like related to his character and his hobbies and how they were childhood friends and their shared interests, and like it worked. And it took a lot of brain juice to figure that out. And you know, like I don't love Star for Faust listener because I feel like it's forced. I feel like you need to, unless the character has like a title of some sort, then you could call him that. But like, that's not cute either. It just has to feel right. Thankfully, yes, exactly. You don't give people you just met nicknames. That's weird behavior. Like Faust can get away with it a little because he's eccentric, and I think the way I posed it in the audio itself was like, it was just a drop. Like he just kind of used it as a reference. It's not like, oh, I'm calling you this every time we talk. So, you know, it was like a, hey, I'm gonna sprinkle it in there to see if it sticks. Yeah, so yeah. I don't like that part. So I've not bothered with, you know, overthinking. My shirt's on backwards. What the fuck? Okay, well, glad I didn't go anywhere. Oh, I went to the doctor. Well, all right. Well, that happened. Yeah, anywho, I don't love that part. Cause like Boo and Sugar and everything, those were all like, for those of you who don't know, Boo is just a pet name. Like that's all that is. That's all it ever was meant to. I grew up singing My Boo. Oh, fucking, is that even the name of the song? Anywho, if you don't know the song, it's a bop. Audio where Oron nicknames you taxes. Lord help us. What else do we got? There we go. Chat knows what I'm talking about. Let's see. Oron's baby asks, what color would you say Finn's pants are? Gonna cosplay him at Colossal Con. Want to make sure I got him right, and it's Bunny Finn. They're brown? Brown. Pretty sure they're brown. Eden asked, what's the stupidest, craziest, funniest thing your cats have ever done? Haru. So Haru doesn't have brakes that work. So he'll like run into things. Like he goes too fast and can't slow down. He one time was chasing Momiji into the office here, and she jumps up onto the futon and keeps running, and he tries to jump up onto the futon, and he's like a couple inches not high enough, so the bottom of his feet catch the like arm of the futon, and he fucking just goes head over ass, fucking flips, and he like he straightens himself back up and runs out like he's embarrassed. He's done that a couple times. He did that trying to jump up onto a entertainment center one time. He's not very athletic. Hey, I'm a VTuber. I'm gonna turn my shirt the right way around. Oh, I did it. Okay. Yeah, I started to realize the tag was on my neck. So. What's another funny cat thing? Haru does a lot of silly things. Jackie took a picture of Mochi, who he was like behind the futon. There's some lights back there, and there's a nice little spot for them to lay. And she got a picture of him looking up, and he just looks so dumb. He's got no brain cells, so. Speaking of Link, sometimes people will find the old, I don't remember what I named the series. They find the old, like, Link series that I did 2 episodes of and was like, okay, well, I'm done. And they'll be like, oh my god, I hope you make more. It's like, it is essentially them finding a like 2-chapter fanfic and finding out that like it hasn't been updated in several years. I always feel bad, but like I'm not going back. Malvina Baby asks, how long does it take you to make each single video, and do you know what you want to do ahead of time or no? That's a great question. And the answer is it really depends. So let's just say it is a straightforward... Let's just say it's a straightforward audio. Oh, Big Red is a great example. So Lucian's birthday audio, which I had forgotten that his birthday was coming, but I had enough time to do it. So this is one that I wrote, recorded, shipped over to Thu, and had uploaded all in like 2. So when I realized, I was like, okay, this has to get done now. I wrote the entire audio within an hour, 40 minutes. Actually, I tweeted about it. I wrote 1,000 words in 40 minutes of something that I didn't know what the fuck it was going to be. And then I recorded it. That was really quick. It did not take that long. So I'd say that probably took another 40 maybe. So if I'm cooking, I can have my part of the video stuff done in a matter of maybe 2 hours. If I have to write, if I have to record all in one package, that's how long it took. Ideally, I have something written and then I go and record it. So ideally, I'm like doing a bunch of writing, then I go and do it. So it really depends. It depends on the workflow, but that's a great example of like, if my life depended on it, and I needed to do something for a specific character, I have to write it, I have to record it, I ship it over to Thu, and then it depends, like, what's her availability. She's probably working, she might have some shit going on, you know. So within a couple days time, usually way faster than that, it gets baked and we're done. So overall, you could say in under 3 hours, a 10+ minute video that uses one of our templates was written, recorded, edited. But it's rarely that simple. Something like, if you're talking about something like Echoes of Everlast, where there's going to be artwork being done, there's going to be a bigger edit being done, you know, that requires way more time. My side of things is quick. Like, if I actually sit down and write it, get it done, the added steps is like, so for Echoes of Everlast, for example, I have to go through and I will be doing like shot list, where along with the script you see where each shot that I'm pitching would be, or whatever, like expression shift or whatever. Then there's like sound effect cues, etc. That whole process is really, it's not a whole lot of fun. And that's a little time consuming, but me putting that time into that makes everyone else's lives a lot easier. So like, it makes Jackie's life way easier, it makes Thu's life way easier. Yeah. So yeah, it's a complicated answer, but if it's a very straightforward video, really quick. Or I'll tell you what's really great. If I improvise an audio, so the most recent Dark Mode Alphonse audio, I sat down and I think there was only like 1 or 2 takes, like where I had to stop and clip and then resume. And I just sat down and did it. Like, I had no notes. I just played pretend in my head, and that ended up being an extremely popular audio, one of my favorite Alphonse audios, and that's literally just me bullshitting. I was able to really tap into that. Really speaks to like what I can do when I'm really comfortable with a character, and it helps that Alphonse is very much my sense of humor and shit. So that 30 minutes, I was done. I was like, all right, ship it. That was great. Oh, what else we got? Drea asks, I'm so excited for Jack. Could we get a bit of a hint of what's coming for him? Also, any Charlie coming soon? I miss him. Jack is a really straightforward story. It's kind of like a back to basics, like ASMR roleplay romance, where it's a meet cute. He's a little flirty. Hey, we should hang out. I could show you around. Some shenanigans, catching back up, and then pretty standard direction in this first bit, but it sets up a lot of like little dates they can go on, sets up, you know, a little bit of like, I would say the faintest of conflict, where it's like, oh, this very like, yeah, that happens in college thing happened to me one time. Low stakes, high cuteness, just real standard. So yeah, which I recorded the second episode of Jack that I will be getting sent over tonight. Hopefully I can get it scheduled by by the time the first episode drops, so it points you at the next episode. And we'll see. I have a lot of... there's a lot of really good one-shot-ish style bangers for Jack that I have ideas for. Like riding a Ferris wheel at the pier, like going on a very like Coney Island style date where it's like you're out on the pier, you fucking ride the fucking Ferris wheel, it's real cute. Other shit like that. And little scenarios. A very, very slice of life, very like easy layups. So that's what I've got for Jack right now. As for Charlie's chillin'. I do want to get... excuse me. I need to get the little raccoon named. So I will probably... I have an idea for what the artwork for that will be, which I want like Charlie and little guy sitting on a stoop eating pizza, I think is what I want the visual to be. And honestly, a lot of that's going to be him and the little guy. Like, it's not going to be a whole lot of him and Casper, because Casper's preoccupied on that day. So... let's see. Your bones are mine now. Asks, do you view listener Seth and Alphonse as a throuple, or just Alphonse and listener as a romantic couple in the canon? I think I have to view it as ambiguous as I can to maintain the integrity of the ambiguity. If I was a viewer, I would be team throuple. But as I write it as ambiguous as I can. For reasons I have yapped about many billion times. Hex asks, hey man, you ever get migraines? If you do, I want to pick your brain and see if you do anything I don't do to help with them. I get these nasty multi-day ones, and like even migraine meds barely touch them. If you got nothing, no worries. I don't have anything other than like, that sounds like you should check. Yeah, that sucks for one. When's the last time you got your eyes checked? That's what I can think of that might be an issue. Coda asked, does Oron ever let Rook play with his hair, like braid it or brush it while he enjoys it? Yeah. I mean, yeah, you can't have hair that nice and not let somebody play with it, right? Clane asks, apologies if this is a stupid question, but could you please explain how you envision the concepts of heaven and hell and how they work, as mentioned in the Big Red birthday audio? If everyone's already fucking dead in the dreamscape, there's one too many layers to this deathception business that makes my head spin. Sorry. Okay. Let me preface this by saying, I'm like Jedi mind trick hand waving you right now. This is subject to change. Don't look at this as me having to answer outside of the text. I'm just giving you this one for free. Don't overthink this. So, hypothetically, if Big Red and Angel's existence, well, I think existence might be the right word. If their existence is across the dreamscape from everlasting Finn. The way it works is, you know how here on Earth there are many mythologies, depending whether it's religions or, you know, whatever. I mean, religion's usually how it happens, etc. And it depends on geographic location and countries and where they're at and that specific place and time. So just because I'm trying to find an analogy for this. The easiest way to say is that if this existence was across the dreamscape from Finn, the mythos, the existence of a heaven, hell, etc. is a part of that existence, and it does not extend, or likely or potentially does not extend beyond the confines of that existence. Does that make sense? Let's say that every existence is a cake, and those cakes have layers. The layers belong to the cake. They do not belong to every cake in the bakery. It makes all the sense in the world. I will say this in as plain English as I can. If Big Red's existence is not the same as the world where Bittersweet exists, their heaven and hell is not Bittersweet's heaven and hell. Nor does that heaven and hell extend beyond their existence. There you go. That's what you got. Which is way more than I ever should have shared. But I'll give you that. See, Z's got it figured out. It's funny how Big Red is hot and lava, but his name is Burr, like cold. Oh my god. Wow. Those are the real deep discoveries. Anywho. So remember the preface that these things are all subject to change. That this is all hypothetical. And also, it doesn't really matter to everything else that's going on. Jackie got it. Cakes have layers, but not all cakes have the same layers. Got it, boss. Yeah. Yeah. Fat Monkey asks, when will we be having a Finn sleep aid? Fairly soon. One of the first things that Jackie's gonna go work on after a little break from all the character design she's been doing. Mochi, every time? Hey, no. Mochi, no. I see you. I see you thinking you're gonna climb the wall. Fuck, what was I answering? Finn sleep aid. One of the first things I'll have Jackie do is the art for the Finn sleep aid. Yeah. But she's been working her booty off, so she needs a little break after all the boys she's cooked up. How many... Hey, Jackie, here's a good question. Mochi, don't you dare. No. Don't do it for chat. No, get out of here. Go on. Ooh, he's been on this like, I'm a man, you can't tell me what to do kind of shit. Mochi, go on. You need to go. Go on. Goodbye. Go on. No, go on. Yeah, he resists. Oh, now he wants to attack my feet? Oh, he gonna roll around on my feet. Okay. So yeah, Finn sleep aid, hopefully fairly soon. Lilithane asks, do you have a hyperfixation song at the moment? If so, what is it? Shit. Mochi. Mo. No, come on. Dad. Come on, Dad. No, Mochi. Come on. Here, you can roll around on my peats. He's gonna attack my peats. Yes, Jackie, that is what I was gonna ask. How many boys have you done? So let me connect the dots and tell people what I was trying to say. I asked Jackie, how many boys have you been working on? And her answer was 8. So chew on that. YuuriVoice, what's your favorite anime character? That's a great question. Who do we like? Who do we like? Who do we like? Favorite. All-time favorite. That's tough. Favorite anime character. Let's go. Mochi, go on. Go on. Goodbye. I don't know. Fuck, I don't know. Mochi. No. Go on. I don't know. I'm so unplugged from my anime fandom right now that I don't. That's not true. Satsuki Kiryuin from Kill la Kill. There you go. Once upon a time, I was the biggest Satsuki stan. Mochi. What did I say? Come on. Get down. Go. Okay, he ran out of the room this time. Hyperfixation song at the moment. I've been really good at not just getting stuck on one song lately. If It Doesn't Hurt by Nothing More is probably the one that I would say is closest to my most re-listened song lately. The aforementioned DeSelby Part 2 and also Abstract. Those have been pretty frequent in rotation. Abstract Psychopomp by Hosey. That's a big Echoes of Everlast song. All right. Taro asked, what was Oron the CEO of? Holy shit. That was so long ago that I told you to put that in here. Oh my god, there's so many questions. Okay, I gotta go faster. Google Endeavor Entertainment. I guess, would probably bring it up. Basically, it is a entertainment agency that sprouted from managing actors, athletes, etc. And they also own entertainment properties and stuff. That's as deep as I'll go because last time I yapped on for a long time. But basically, he probably owns a stake in your favorite sports league. He probably, under his umbrella, represents some of your favorite artists, etc. Did I say employs some of your favorite artists? More like works for your favorite artists. But and Rook does contract law, yes. Among other things. But yes. So not very exciting law stuff. Mochi, what did I say? No. Hey, get out. Go on. Ooh, that boy. Bella asked, in the picture of Oron at the Christmas party, got my brain working a little bit, had a 30-minute convo with my friend about it. But is Oron's hair in a half up, half down bun or a ponytail? Half up, half down bun. Is Charlie baby girl? Yes. Zorazip VA asks, why did you decide to go into ASMR? I didn't know I was going into ASMR at the start of all of this. I was just doing character audios on Tumblr for Yuri Kotsky from Yuri on Ice. I started doing some other characters and doing all of that stuff. And then someone recommended me to be a part of a Carlin Audio collab. And then I found out that the community was a huge thing on YouTube. So I made a YouTube channel. And that's how I ended up here. Lilith VA says, yo, I don't know if you remember me, but I plan on starting up my own YouTube channel. Again, the first time I wasn't as passionate. But this time I'm very hyped on starting, and I'm not alone. I have friends that do art, scripts, editing, etc. I was wondering if you had any tips and stuff that could help me out. Whew, tips. Okay, you're excited. You're passionate. Those are some of the big tips to begin with. So, I would say put a lot of thought into your thumbnails and titles. Especially, and look, this is not shade. This is just factually correct. Thumbnails in the ASMR roleplay space suck dick. If you put even a little bit of effort, go to fucking Canva and just fiddle around in some templates and just think about what works. Think about what makes you want to click on things. If you put a little effort into your thumbnails, even if you're just starting out, you will be miles ahead of everyone else already. Yes. Thumbnails and yeah. And I would also argue, like, first iteration of the thumbnails were not even as bad as a lot of the ones get around here. So other than that, just stick with it. I would say just stick with it. Don't be discouraged. Don't feed the trolls. If they're not trolls, if they're just assholes, don't feed them either. That's a big thing. Be wary of people who want to befriend you just to befriend you, and perhaps like I don't know. Be careful about the connections you make. It's not all just like, oh my God, we're all a big community. Like, there's people I would not want to interact with. So like, I would say just be wise and start to tune your radar when you run into people. It can be a lot of fun at first. Just know that like not everybody is a well-adjusted, mature human being, and they will make it your problem. Candy Corn asked, this is more of an advice question, but I took an ADHD test from my doctor and lied on half the questions, and it came back negative. So I'm pretty sure I do have it. Should I wait till my therapist diagnoses me with it? Love your content, by the way. You're so creative. Well, you shouldn't have done that, but I understand. Sometimes it happens. Yeah, if you specifically have a therapist, I would tell them that. And they would help you. They'd be like, okay, so why did you do that? Why did you feel like you had to do that? Do you know, and they'll do the therapist thing and you'll figure it out. But no, being honest with your doctor is always the best bet. And, I'll put it to you this way. I wish when I was younger, I wish when I was younger I had the opportunity to be tested and figure that out. So, you know, I would say talk to somebody for sure. Fern says, I just remembered there was a stream about making a mystery character. Is that character going to be its own thing, or is it going to be tied to Echoes? Mystery character. Fuck if I know. I don't. It's a mystery to me. I don't know what we're talking about. I don't know who we're talking about. Hopeful Goddess says, since Finn's birthday is coming up, are we going to see VTuber Finn's debut on or near that day? I'm super excited for the cozy games that Finn could potentially play. That'd be a pretty good idea, wouldn't it? That'd be a pretty good idea. Skelly guy. Yeah, okay. Skeleton man. We'll see whatever happens to him. We'll see what happens. Who's your favorite character to voice? I don't really have a favorite, I would say. Hold on, Jackie sent me something. Oh my god. Oh my god. Oh, daddy. Shut the fuck. Oh, I've been waiting for this one. Okay, I'm zoomed so far in. Why did you... Jackie Eleanor. Jackie Eleanor call-out post. Hey, Jackie. His left hand? Why did you draw his fingies so erotic? They look like they should have some sort of moisture on them. Sweet Jesus. I love the way this cake is cut. I can't say anything else, I guess. He's so hot. I want to eat him. I can't share it. I can't share it. I can't share it. I can't share it. Oh my God. He's so fine, though. Get your tail out of my face, Goody. If you saw how zoomed in I'm like analyzing him. I love the boots a lot. All right. I can tell you guys this. I can tell you guys this. All of that was for a character you don't know about. And yeah, when it's time, I will remember this and I'll be like, you remember that time that I freaked out? Don't worry, I made similar noises for Finn-related things recently as well. So I don't think there's a character I haven't had that kind of reaction to. It's very exciting. Which one of the boys would be a Britney Spears fan? Probably Alphonse Faust. If you can't, guys, if you don't know who I haven't mentioned this character before. So it's not a blacksmith and it's not the priest. It is something you don't know about yet. That I have not. There's one thing that I teased, and I don't remember where I teased it or what I said, but it's only... I don't even remember the context of it, but... It's not the horse, but I bet he's hung like one. Oh. Oh yeah, it's the knife pervert. If you guys remember that reference. Oh, goodness. All right. Which of the boys would be a fan of Godzilla? That's a good question. I feel like Faust would be low-key kaiju stan. Ugh. Ree asks, will Al or maybe even Boo ever meet Oron? I don't know. They do not currently have a reason or way that they would feasibly cross paths currently. Oh, Lisa Chu, I'm sorry about your cat. I'm sorry. That's always tough. My cats are doing good. For context, Lisa Chu then asks, it helps to hear that other people's fur babies are okay, so how are your cats doing? I didn't pivot from I just lost a pet and I'm like, well, mine are good. Jesus, could you imagine? Could you imagine? Oh, okay. So for the context, Lisa Chu has asked how the cats are doing. Oh man, they're good. They're good. I think about their mortality and get upset, and they're still all fairly young. So, yeah, I'm trying to think what they've been up to. I don't know. Haru just turned 1 last month, so we have hit the anniversary of his tummy troubles. He's so big, and he's such a chonker, man. Yeah, he's so thick, he will lick his food bowl. And he's getting enough food. I promise he's getting enough food. And it's like, Bubba, please. I'm trying to save you from yourself. He's so big-backed. Haunting Misery asks, what's your favorite type of Pokemon, and what kind of Pokemon do you think Al and Seth would have? So, Ghost and Fairy for me, they compose most of my tattoo. As for Al and Seth, I think Al would be a fairy type. Or maybe like he has a like way that it's like pastel mode and dark mode. So he like can swap between fairy and ghost. And Seth gives me like a dark and steel combo. That like Seth and a Pangoro would make a lot of sense to me. Yeah. I think that would work. Drums Go Boom asks, do you collect anything like keychains, pins, or combine harvesters? Wait. Combine harvesters? Either way, keep up the good work. A calorie deficit can suck, but you got this. Thank you. Yeah, man. It's honestly, for those of you who might be interested in like healthier bread alternatives. Not sponsored. Oro wheat keto bread, their buns, I've really been able to consistently eat them and not hate the food I'm eating. So having a nice sandwich for lunch. They also make hot dog buns, but like hot dogs are so not exactly the most healthy meat to put in your mouth. But yeah, man, that has helped me a lot. What was the actual question? I started talking about bread. Do I collect anything? I do have a collection of enamel pins. I do collect anime figures, but I run out of places to put them. I did. So the thing that I like really splurged on recently was I got a whole bunch of Final Fantasy VII figures and plushies and other merch and shit. Because I would like to make a shrine, basically. I mentioned that was the game that inspired me to want to write the stories for video games. So really, really played a big role in me becoming a creative person. So I wanted to have a nice collection of Final Fantasy VII stuff to display somewhere. I don't know where that will be exactly, but yeah, I figured like if there was one series, one thing that I would have a collection of, it should be Final Fantasy VII stuff. Other than that, like Pokemon cards, you can see that I opened a shit ton of them on stream before. I've chilled out on that. I do have a ton just sitting around still. But I got and this is going to sound like I'm speaking a different language to most people. I got a Moonbreon PSA 10. It's one that I pulled out of pack myself, and I sent to PSA myself, and it was a 10. That's pretty cool. So, for those of you who don't know what a Moonbreon is, it is a alternate art Umbreon VMAX, and the artwork is like this giant. So VMAX was like the Gigantamaxing, and it's Umbreon like climbing a building and pawing at the moon. It is one of the coolest cards they've ever released. And when I pulled it, I have a pretty good eye for seeing if they're a high grade or not. So I actually have sent quite a few of the cards I pulled myself to PSA, and I have a very full cabinet of PSA 10s because my eyes can tell. So that's cool. But I kind of one, like, I just don't need to spend that money. Although if I do it on stream, you could technically call it a tax write-off. Yes. But like, I don't, it's the storage for me, bro. Like, I just don't, sorting through it all and doing, like, if I have extra hands on deck, sure, but like, I don't know. So I have a whole bunch of unopened stuff sitting in my garage still, and I need to sell. I have pretty thick collections of all of my golden rares, all of my alternate arts, all of my rainbow rares. And when you piece it out, like, it's a couple grand worth of cards, and I'm probably just going to sell them. Yeah. Let's see. Okay. Deep Blue asks, what would be the interactions between the Yandere listeners and the non-Yandere listeners for each of the boys, particularly the Flower Boy and his Yandere counterpart? I don't know, actually. That is something we might delve into at some point. I don't know. It's a complicated question, I guess. Have you played the game Your Boyfriend, or have you heard of it? What are your thoughts about it? I do not know anything about it, unfortunately. Have you played Fire Emblem? Yes. Very early on, some of the first artwork Jackie ever did for me was, oh no, I've forgotten names. I'm so old. Dimitri Fire Emblem and Claude Fire Emblem. And I did some audios. That being said, like playing Fire Emblem, I just don't. I don't know. I played through 3 houses and I don't know. It's too the gameplay is a little too slow for me, I think. It wasn't bad doing I don't know. It just wasn't it's just not my bag. It sort of is my bag sometimes, but it is not my bag right now. Moon to Moon asks, will Shattered eventually grow to be as long as and as intense of a series as Bittersweet? So the naming conventions situation is like a little complicated because like Shattered is just kind of like the chapter that we're going into. I don't know what I'm going to do if I like retroactively call like what came before. So like the Escape series and the introductory videos with Oron, was that Shattered chapter 1? I don't think so, because like it's called Shattered for a reason. Like it is thematic. Like back then, Shattered was not the name of that. It would not be Shattered. But the story, so like Oron's story does span beyond Shattered, just like it spans before Shattered. And I would say that as long and as intense as Bittersweet, I would say Shattered is going to be more intense than Bittersweet was. I don't know if we'll ever get to the level of, I mean, I don't know what all I can say, but it will be overall more intense than Bittersweet, I think. Oron asks, do you like Hell of a Boss? I have not watched it. I just have not done the thing. Kaylee asked, would Finn name a daughter after a flower? Probably. That's Finn behavior, I think. Hannah asked, are you gonna make more of the ghost hunting videos or possibly make a series out of it? No, I did think I was gonna make a series out of it at the time. But I told the story before that I really like forced myself to make that at a time where like there's a period during like the wrap up of Bittersweet chapter 3 that I was really dissatisfied and frustrated, and I did not make it with good vibes. It's funny, it's really funny, and I don't hate it, but like it's like a food that you don't like eating leftovers of, is kind of how I feel about it. Like I loved that when it was like a thing, but like now I don't quite think I want to consume that again. Where are we at? Oh, Z came back with what have been your top 3 career milestones. I really enjoy hearing you talk about stuff like this. Not to be weird. It's okay. I like answering questions like that. They're very thoughtful. Top 3. I think chronologically, the Yuri on Ice panel I hosted at Anime Fest 2017, which I found out Anime Fest, which is a bigger con in Dallas, this is their last year. They're gonna hang it up. The group that runs it, they're gonna focus on smaller scale events throughout the year rather than running one big one. And it's very sad. I've never gotten to go to another Anime Fest, but so Anime Fest 2017, they had several members of the team that created Yuri on Ice were there. It was their first American appearance before their mega appearance at Anime Expo. So this was before they went to Anime Expo. This was a big deal. So a lot of Yuri on Ice fans kind of made the pilgrimage to go see them, because like it's like a bigger mid-sized convention, and they have, you know, the creators of the most popular anime going on right now, etc. And I ran a Yuri on Ice like character acting panel thing, and a lot of people knew me because of the blog, and we had over 200 people filled out the biggest. They gave me the biggest room. They gave me the main events room. Like, what the fuck? And we had that bitch over halfway full. And I was scared. I was scared senseless. This is back when I was still like very anxious and socially awkward, still a mess. So to do that and have such a great time and do that was the first of the big 3 milestones. I think that one can't be. It like gave me a peek at a world I didn't think I could ever be a part of. I think is kind of the way that impacted me. Also, it was the first time I got to meet, you know, friends who changed my life in person. It was wonderful. The next big one. I think. I think Bittersweet Chapter 1, when it wrapped up and I finally saw like what it became, because it wasn't supposed to be a series. It wasn't Bittersweet. It didn't have a name. When I saw what it was and like kind of figured out that it was a thing and that people were receptive to it, it was a big milestone achievement, because I tried to do that before. I tried to do it with actually I don't know what came first, but I tried to accomplish something similar with what was it called, the Underground Champion series with Galar Guzma, where the episode where we had Guzma like have a showdown with peers. You know, it had a ton of artwork. It was the first time me and Jackie like really put that together and saw something like that come to fruition, and it flopped. I felt so strongly about it and it flopped. So for Bittersweet to become what it became, and for it to be my own original thing, kind of told me like, hey man, like, don't shy away from that kind of creativity. Like, there's an audience for that, and it was with your own characters and your own story. So I think that's a big highlight. So is the zine. The zine being able to raise that much money for the Trevor project, the way it turned out, that was excellent. I think the third is going to go to What's Coming. I think when we announce the YuuriVoice Direct, where we will have trailers for what's coming, and we get to unveil what we've been working on, and the people involved, and the effort that it took, and the way that things play out, I think the YuuriVoice Direct will be a big deal. Because I want it to be really special. I want it to be... I want to set the bar, is what I want to do. Because there's a lot of people doing a lot of cool things in this space. And I've let myself down a lot, I think. And I want to be able to put together in this package for whatever this YuuriVoice Direct looks like. I want this to be me beating my chest and saying, y'all must have fucking forgot. That's what I want that to be. And I want that to mark whatever this next chapter is. I want that to be where I kick the fucking door in and things break through in ways that I've been wanting them to, and I haven't been able to see to fruition yet. Yes, the name Edwin does mean rich friend. And that's why I'm taking my time with all that stuff, because I don't want to go in half-cocked. I want to be able to say, hey, I've got this. These are the dates. Set your fucking reminders. Hit the fucking bell. Get your ass there when it's time, because this shit's gonna go insane. That's what I'm aiming for. So yeah, it's a lot. It's a lot of work to do. But I no longer, we've made it past the point where I was like beating myself up for, oh, I said this would be done. Oh, it's taken me so long. I'm over that now. Now I want to get it right, and I want it to be excellent. So yeah, it's gonna be exciting. So that's my hope, at least. That was a thick answer. Let's see. Who's my favorite collab character I've voiced? I mean, the biggest of the bunch has been Hip Switch. And seeing the way people have enjoyed Hip Switch is great. I mean, you know what I really like about how Hip Switch has turned out? It's more of the like behind the scenes stuff, but like it was really cool of GBA to trust me with like, you know, such a main character. Like Hip Switch has a shit ton of screen time and is the romantic interest of the listener POV character. And being given that kind of trust to take the ball and run with it means a lot. And it's the kind of trust that I haven't had in a long time. So it's kind of like, it's a good vibe, and it's special to me for that reason. But I'm excited to do more stuff. Yeah. And I'm excited to bring people in to work on stuff as well. Like I'm much more comfortable with the idea of giving people roles again and having them be big, meaningful roles, and letting people cook. I think it's important, and I think it's important for me. I think I need to do it to show myself that I can do it and not be so anxious about it anymore. Michaela Makeup Nerd asks, can we get a hint for Finn's birthday audio? I don't actually know if there will be a proper audio thing, because I'm thinking about doing something else. You could probably connect the dots there. Which in its own right is probably a huge hint. Purple asks, do I plan on getting any more piercings? I think an eyebrow piercing would suit you. Thank you. I have considered eyebrow piercings before. I've considered septum piercings before. I don't know. I think, especially now, as I'm shrinking, I'll be waiting to see what my face looks like before I make any choices like that. I don't know. Back in the day, I really thought an eyebrow piercing would be fucking dope on me. I almost did it when I don't think I was wearing trip pants anymore, but I was definitely still shopping at Hot Topic. I need to get my ear holes poked again, and I just, with the long hair, sometimes the hair gets knotted up on the piercing. I don't know. What else do we got? Trying to hear an ear. Yes. Thea says, God, I just thought about you trying to heal an ear piercing with how much Mochi wants Milkies. Yeah, Mochi likes to suckle on my earlobes. So that would suck. That's gonna get infected. Mochi would hate it if my ears were pierced. Dad, what's this? Dad, you got your nipples pierced? What's wrong with him? The Phoenix Wing asked a question an hour ago. Let me see. Phoenix Wing, you're here at the right time. Yours is the next question, actually. You were actually next, right after Purple's question. Yep. I know, Thea. I see Thea in the document being like, oh shit, they're right there. And I saw it earlier too, and I knew the answer. So, the Phoenix Wing asks, is Casper's job decided? It has continuously come up in the series with it being said that Casper's job is NDA'd, and with Charlie saying that they are loaded, and you drew attention to it by Charlie talking with the raccoon about how he's a little curious about it. I just think there's been too much talk about it for it not to come up later. That, my friend, is media literacy at work. It would be very strange if I yapped about those very specific topics that many times for it not to matter. At first, it wasn't going to matter. At first, it was like a maybe. So and I'll do this sometimes where like I'll sprinkle seeds. And I'm like, hey, I'm thinking about maybe this, maybe that. I don't know. So I'm gonna drop some crumbs here, and we'll see. And then I dropped some more crumbs, and then I really loved what I came up with. So I was like, yeah, okay, cool. Yeah. So I would say, there needed to be some sort of reason why Casper had money, right? Like, there's got to be an answer to that somehow. But what I've come up with also doesn't negate necessarily, like, I know a lot of people come up with like, oh, well, my Casper does this or whatever. Like, it won't, they have time to have a job, but they're also going to have the job that I'm going to give them. So, little baby, Haru's here. Hi, honey. Hi, Stink. Hi, honey. There will be more Alan Seth. Yeah, don't worry. Hopefully a lot more before the year's through, but I don't want to make any promises. Does Oron ever throw Rook over his shoulder and keep them there for a bit because they were being a brat? He could. Glowstick Munchmaster asks, does Oron like tea or only coffee? I'm sure he'll drink tea, but I would say he's more of a coffee guy. I Love Bunnies asks, is Oron's listener's name Rook, or is it just the nickname their boss gave to him? Thank you. Yeah, so he calls them Rook because they're the newest hire in legal. And he's calling them Rookie. But short for Rookie, you can say Rook. And it's pretty... Apparently, Rook is pretty fucking catchy because the protagonist name in Dragon Age is fucking Rook. So as it turns out, if you ever want a bunch of other characters to say Rook other than Oron, go play Dragon Age 4. Bling asks, hey man, love your work. Do you write all your stuff? And do you ever take fan scripts? Over the years, I have written 95% of everything I've done. We do take script submissions, but there haven't been a ton as of late. And then I work with some writers as well upon occasion. And lately, for example, Caffeinated Chase has been writing a lot of stuff. They wrote recent Finn stuff, they were able to, oh my god, they helped me with Jack. So like I've had Jack outlined forever, and I was like, you know what, I love their writing. You want to take a crack at Jack? So yeah, so sometimes it's like, okay, give me an idea, or hey, I have this idea, this prompt, essentially, like, could you do that? So yeah. Let's see what else we got going on. Mayo says, in Bittersweet, was Mama Jessie put in Big Boy prison for being involved with Derek's death? Love you, Mr. Yuri. Whose death? Who died? I don't know nothing about that. Do you know nothing about that? I didn't hear. Who? Somebody died? That's crazy. People die every day. I didn't mean for that to be so cold. But there was no police involvement in whatever occurred that night. Yes, Casper, you can name your shop Talk Floral. I didn't write the Talk Floral series, by the way. It's what, out of respect to the original author, I don't ever say Talk Floral in anything I've written. Just call it the shop. So I don't care what you name your flower shop. So no, there was no crime. There was nothing. There was nothing that happened with anybody who, I don't know nobody named Derek. Starlight asks, when do you think Faust will get a re-debut? I'm probably not spelling his name right. No, you nailed it. But I really love him and I'd like more content of him. He will not be getting a re-debut. He's already re-debuted. That story will continue. There's just some things that needed to happen. And they're happening, so. Alex asks, mystery skeleton character reminds me, what's up with Bones? Thanks. Bones, his VTuber model's ready. I've got some artwork being worked on for content purposes. But he will become a thing when I'm ready for him to become a thing. Yeah. I want to be able to dedicate the time to it. I need to knock out all these big projects we've got, and then it'll probably be Bones time. That's a big part of, like, well, Alex, the thing is, Finn's series was never even really a series. I don't know. So I'm not saying it's not confusing or not understandably confusing. I'm also saying you don't have to ask me about opening a fucking flower shop years from now. It's not copywritten. That's all I'm saying. Where was I? Anywho, Bones, yes, at some point. Dreamer to Welcome asks, anything that surprised you about Jack's revival? I know writers are often surprised about the writing process and things they find out about their characters. Yeah, so because I tag teamed this with a writer, it's still early days. It's very formative. It was all very paint by numbers. Like, I did not want to reinvent the fucking wheel. I didn't want to give him some deep fucking shit. It's like, hey, we are doing a meet cute on a college campus. That's about it. Because that's just the formative things. Now I will probably write a few things. So, you know, it'll be a little column A, a little column B. I do actually have something cool to share about Jack, though. So what I did learn about Jack as I got to know him, scripts need to be a little longer than usual because he talks faster than basically everyone else. He's a little more fast talky, punchy. So basically, he can get through a 1,000 word script in like 7 to 8 minutes, which normally a 1,000 word script should be fucking over 10, and they weren't. So I actually had to consolidate the first 2 scripts into one, because that was not how that was supposed to go. I think it's actually a better video that way, because like it wasn't a whole lot of nothing happens at first and then it picks up. So I think it's actually better as one video. So the first video is actually, it's over 14 minutes, I think. I think it's like something in that ballpark. Yeah. So learning like, oh, he talks like this, and that means this happens. So that's been fun. Minty Green Cake asks about what game am I excited for, and says they're excited about the new Dragon Age game. Varric, my beloved. Yeah. Funny, we started the stream talking about my excitement for Dragon Age. Other things I'm excited for, though, there was the Grave Seasons game, which is where it's like a cozy farming game with romanceable characters, and one of them might be a serial killer, and you might end up romancing them. I've been following that game for a while. I'm a fan of a few of the... the premise. Is that what I was saying? I don't know. I got sidetracked. Sorry. Haley asks, I'm currently hyperfixated on Spider-Man. Which Yuri boy would most likely like Spider-Man, and which Spider-Man would they like? Oh, shit. That's tough. I don't know. I don't know who would like Spider-Man. I feel like Seth might like Spider-Man. I don't know which Spider-Man. Probably a lot of Spider-Man. I think the themes of Spidey would resonate with Seth a little bit. Sunlight asks, because I'm not beating the robot fucker allegations anytime soon, any plans for Echo in the future? Yeah, it'll happen. It'll happen. We need a fresh coat of paint on him, and Jackie's been working on a million character designs, and doing Echo right now is not happening. So it'll be a bit. And like I like the artwork we have for him, but I want to do a little something with him and then do it. I have an idea though. Thanks to Purple, who suggested that his listener could be a mechanic who works on him, and I was like, holy shit, that's genius. So that's what we will be doing. Kaylee asked, which of the side-on audios was your favorite to record? Safe work or not safe work? Fuck if I remember. I couldn't tell you. I have no clue at this point for sure. Thirsty Eden asks, got any new tea on Trish or Mummy? Oh, any tea on Trish and Mummy Oron? Please, I'm thirsty. I got nothing. But yeah, I haven't thought about it much since we last left off. Does Oron like kids? I would say no. I feel like Oron definitely like criminal, CEO, busy. What's to bang? Like, I feel like he's preoccupied. Split Die asks, how do you pronounce Oron? Which is Oron, not Aaron. Or Ron. Hideout. Anywho, it's Oron. Oh no. Number one Melanie Martinez worshiper asks, which YuuriVoice character is the best cuddler? I don't know. They all have, you know, their own they all have their own perks individually. But if you want to know if you want to know who really will be the best cuddler, it's going to be the blacksmith. Cuz that's a big boy who is meant to be held and to be holding. Ellie Neal asks, are there any plans for him to eventually join the Bittersweet universe, or will he stay in his own storyline? This is probably about Jack, which Jack is completely removed from Bittersweet stuff. Did we get caught up? Oh my god. I think we got caught up. Oh man. Oh. All right, last call for questions if you got them. Yeah. What else is there to talk about? Finn's birthday. I would save the date for his birthday. I would be free at 6 p.m. on his birthday. That is what I know. That is what I know. What else? Very excited about Jack. I think you guys are gonna love his vibe. What else? Oh, by the way, it's not, his birthday isn't 6/21. It's 6/20. It's 6/20. We adjusted accordingly, which is what it says on the bio now. It is not Friday. It is Thursday. I know in the birthday stream I was like, oh, 6/21. That's like my number. But then I changed it. So what kind of music does Seth like? I feel like he's probably into a lot of things. Like he's probably Mochi, go. What are you doing? No, go. That boy is crazy trying to get up on the desk and sprint. I do not remember why the change. I think it was some shenanigans with I don't fucking remember, honestly. I don't know. For whatever reason. That's what happened. Mochi, go. Hey. Go. I swear. Seth's music choices. Probably loves like some folk, some rock. Probably Seth's probably a big dad rock kind of guy. Like he probably likes Nickelback, let's be real. Probably knows every word to Lips of an Angel. Like, Lord help him. He's not proud. He's not proud about it. I have not. He absolutely loves Leonard Skinner. What are we talking about? He fucking gets drunk and shouts, "Free bird!" Seether. Oh my god, yeah. Let's see. I have not watched any Bluey. I'm sure one of the boys would like it. Does Oron skip leg day? No, I'm pretty sure he can fucking bust a thick squat. How would Alphonse feel about Meatloaf? He probably wouldn't love Meatloaf. He probably wouldn't love Meatloaf. You thought that the country boy who rides a motorcycle was a Melanie Martinez girly. Um, what about Oron's choice in music and such? That's a good question. That's a good question. I feel like he's a big, like, I listen to soundtracks, so he just listens to, like, I don't know. That's not true, though. He was a fucking Hot Topic kid. He probably has had me sign an NDA. I feel like I could be in deep shit if I rat on him here. I think I would give him my I'd give him my character arc with my musical taste. So for those of you who don't know, when I was a teenager, I was a big, like, nu metal, shitty rock. I was the shitty Hot Topic kid. So I loved Slipknot, fucking Korn, fucking I loved Linkin Park. You know what? Oron loves Linkin Park. Oron loves Linkin Park. But then maybe his taste kind of matured a little bit. Maybe he shed his whole, like, oh my god, all this other music is so, like, whack. And he came around and was like, no, you know what? All music is valid. I just like what speaks to me. So now he's probably a big singer-songwriter type, because, you know, writer probably enjoys a good lyricist. Ugh, I got a cat hair in my mouth. Ah. Delicious. Yes, dark mode Alphonse's dark mode shirt is literally the Korn thing. Starlight asks, what's your advice for someone who's just writing stories or scripts? Keep writing. Practice. Practicing is the only way that anything happens, you know. Don't create rules for yourself. Just go do what you want to do. Like, don't, oh, I need to write this before I get to this. Like, go write the thing you want to write. And then, you know, make it make sense later. Like, the other night, I had a very specific scene in my head for what was I can't really say a whole lot, but I had a scene that I was really inspired to go write, and I was like, I want to dabble with how this would go, because I had a line in my head that was so fucking good. I was like, I need to go write this down. I'll write some of the stuff surrounding it, but most importantly, I need this one line written down. So yeah, and I was in bed on my phone and I just wrote it. So like pursue writing what you're inspired to write at the time. I think that's a good idea. And then if you do write scripts, always be aware that the listener only, yes. Yeah, that was Thea's advice right there in the chat. Be really aware of assuming what the listener knows, because the voice needs to say it out loud. And then you can't also assume like what the listener has said and they're reacting to. You have to account for like, hey, people are listening to this and only getting one side of the conversation. And then practicing how to do that without making it too forced. So learning like, okay, not every single thing you do can be, oh, you said this. Well, here's my response. Oh, you said this. Oh, you said this. So like echoing back what they said with a question. It's very easy. And if you're clever, you can work them in. Cause like, that's the easiest thing to do is like start the sentence by parroting what they said and then respond. Well, the better way to do it is to bury the context a little deeper into the first sentence. So that's the big one. Soupy says advice for character development and how to do it. Please, I'm hyperfixating so hard. Character development and how to do it. I have never developed a character on purpose. I've never gone, all right, this is your arc. I might have a vague idea in the themes of the story, in the themes of the character, but I never go, all right, so you're going to start out like this, you're going to become this, and you're going to end up here. Like, you don't, I have had the most luck having a vague estimation of where I want to get to. Like, maybe I have an end point. Like, okay, I think this is how things need to wrap up. How do they get there? Do they get there? What happens when they get there? Like, what? So if we're starting here, things need to happen. Developments need to take place. How do they interact with the world around them? How do they interact with the characters around them? Do they logically end up in that endpoint? I don't know. Never get too married to anything. You know, you just kind of go, and then you'll find what works. Haunting Misery asked, is there going to be backstory on what happened to Al's parents? If this has already been covered, sorry. So yeah, I think I used to be a big, we're not going to fucking talk about his parents. They don't matter to the plot. There's no reason. It's just, you know, there's no reason to do it. That was several years of me saying that. And then Seth's mom was potentially in danger, and that affected Alphonse. So in like episode 2 of Bittersweet chapter 3, you know, Seth is being wishy-washy, and Alphonse is almost resentful at the fact that like, hey, you have an opportunity to potentially do something to make sure your mom's okay. I never had that opportunity. And if I was in your shoes, I'd fucking gut anybody who got in my way to keep me from protecting my family. And that was when I was like, okay, like just saying like, oh, they died a while back in an accident isn't enough. It wasn't enough for me. I wanted to know more. I wanted to know, how did Alphonse deal with grief? Did he ever deal with his grief? Not to foreshadow what the fuck chapter 4 is about. But, yeah, so it was and that's sort of the thing, right? Like, when I talk about sprinkling crumbs and planting little seeds that maybe they turn into something, maybe they don't. And, now there's a reason for Alphonse's parents to have mattered more so than like, because it was like, okay, I was in the city fucking around. Seth continuously like manipulated me to stay when I felt like I should go, even though my parents wanted me to come home. And then they fucking died while I was away. And I sort of blame him for me not being there. Boom. So that's kind of what I mean about character development. It just sort of happened. Like hey, what are you doing? These cats are being crazy. Yeah, like I didn't know that was going to be Alphonse's character arc. There's no date for chapter 4, but we'll see what happens. What that little boy's being crazy. Yeah, but why would you be fair when you're emotional and about to go beat up people? Also, he did say, like, Alphonse did, to be fair, in that entire speech. Like, he covered his bases. There's not really a whole lot of to be fair going on when you're experiencing unresolved grief through a friend's potential loss. So, yeah. Anywho, I know how they died and what all happened there and all that shit, so. Bella asked, what would be Oron's ideal style of date? You know, like a fancy dinner at a piano bar or something extravagant, some rooftop fucking balcony situation. You know, he's big on gestures and you know, shit like that. I wonder what I do know. I do know I have an idea for a really fun date. I don't even think date's the right word. It's more like an adventure. I think I have an idea for a little fun adventure for them to go on. But we gotta get some stuff out of the way first. All right. I need more water and I need dinner. It's late. We've been running for almost 3 hours. Good stream, y'all. I'm very excited about Jack. That is tomorrow at 6 p.m. Jack episode 2 should be Monday at 6 p.m. And then something's happening on Thursday. Is there anything else? I don't know. I already said too much tonight. I already said too much. I will say this. You should keep your eyes out on Sunday for a special announcement that will be a video, a short video, but will be an announcement that may pertain to a certain birthday. So that's all I can say. That's all I can say. And I could say more. Haru is going crazy over there. Is there any... I'm trying to think if there's any crumb of anything I could share. Not really. Not really. I need to go. I have to finish editing the Jack episode 2. So. Alright, y'all. Thank you for hanging out. I appreciate y'all. Have a lovely rest of your week. I'll see you tomorrow for Jack. And, yeah. Take care. Bye.